Okay. Sorry, I've got a big mouthful of food. So, just excuse me for a second. That was very bad timing on my part. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm eating is I realised that tomorrow morning I've got a procedure with the radiologist where they inject radioactive stuff into you, and that's to do with my heart. I've got 2 bicuspid valves, which means I've only got 2 valves, and normal people have 3 valves in their heart, but I've only got 2 out of the 4 valves. Yeah. Okay, so I'll have a munch on that as we go through. I've 90% finished it anyway. And just a pizza. Okay, now where are we? That's right. So I'll zoom down on this. This is an Astor Mickey. I've got about 5 of them, but this one was excess to needs, and I was going to put it in the auction in a couple of, on the 8th of November. And it was sort of working, but and it's wired up identically to the others of this model. This is a KM, by the way. And I swapped all the valves. I triple checked the my soldering. I've triple checked the circuit, and I've checked all the coils and everything like that. And do you think I can get it to I've actually, in the last hour, I've got it to work with the signal generator absolutely blasting into it. So the signal generator is at full volume, and yeah, it's you can hear it, but yeah. And the dial lights are really super bright. I don't know what that's all about. And yeah, so it wasn't in this case. I've got another cream case, which are the common cases, but I took the one out of this, and as you can see, it's green. And this is the one where I got at the market day quite a few years ago. It's got a big crack there, across there, big crack there. It's obviously been dropped. I've got the bits for there and there, so I'll have to glue it all back together one day. But it was painted, as you can see, white, and then on top of it, it had a piece of wallpaper. I don't know what that was about. And I also don't know whether it was originally this marl sort of colour on the bottom. It does have some patterning in it, but inside, yeah, as you can see, that's its original colour inside, that green. So I've been debating whether to paint it or not, because the green ones are worth a lot of money. Yeah, so I'll just, I actually don't need to do, I just need to have the laptop on to change cameras. So, yeah. So I'll turn this on while I've got it here, and it's at full volume. It's got the aerial connected up. And yeah, and as you can see, those dial lights are super bright. And they're flickering too, which is interesting. I've got the aerial going straight into the 6A8, which is this one. And that should make quite a loud noise. That's at full volume. And you probably can't hear that, but there's static on it. You hear the static at the very low end, and as you go up a bit, it disappears there. Yeah. So I don't know what's wrong with it. And if I put the aerial into it, I mean the signal generator. Now, I was getting a station before, but I've tuned it up so it's peaked, but yeah, it's just not doing it. So you can, I don't know whether you heard that, but it does make a noise when you connect something. Now it's at 100 dB, this output meter, and it's on 455, which is the IF frequency of this radio. And if I turn this on, yeah, that's it. That's as loud as it'll go. So I really don't know what's going on with this. Yeah. Anyway, we'll unplug this and unplug this. Turn the signal generator off. And we'll move this out the way. And I'll show you today's victim. I better plug the phone in before it eats all the battery up. Good. Right. So I'll move this out the way. Yes, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you haven't already done so, because the subscriber count is really just creeping up. I get one new subscriber every 2 weeks or so now, which just isn't good enough. Right. Just had another bite of my dinner. So I'll show you the catalog, a catalog where this is mentioned. Yeah. Which one's in this one? Here's the circuit for it. And oh no, it's not that. It's in Photoshop, isn't it? Where's Photoshop gone? Oh, it's in there. Yeah. So here it is in this. This was a catalogue from 1962, I think. Yeah, 1962. And it was offered on eBay in America, but it was like $160 plus postage. So yeah, I'm not paying $160 for a sheet of paper, no matter how nice condition it's in and everything like that. So that's the radio down here. And it came in blue, brown or black. I've also got one of these, in fact I've got two of these floating around, and one of them sort of works and the other doesn't. I've fixed one of these at some stage. I've got one of these at somewhere. And yes, you can see all these happy Japanese people listening to their Panasonic radios. And why isn't that? This way. Yeah. So there's the factory. Hope you can hear me. But they also made these table radios. And you can see it's a fold out brochure. So this is the inside front page, then this opened out. So it was a 3-page spread. So I don't know what was on this page underneath here or on the back. So I'll show the cover. Yeah. So happy Japanese woman with the radio, and that's a super sensitive one, and it's medium wave and short wave. It's got the meter on it. Forgotten that these were so big. Yeah. Not sure what this is here. Anyway, go back to this and swap things. It does that. Right. Wonder if I can program it to just play that once, that clip, and then yeah. So excuse me. Okay, so here it is in all its glory. So excuse me eating, yeah, as I said earlier, I've got to go for a procedure in the morning that involves the radioactive stuff, so yeah. So I've got to fast for 12 hours. Yeah, so this is it. Twin speakers, they're not the same size, I found out. So tuning, fine tuning, the meter there. On the side here, we've got the band switch. So medium wave, short wave 1 and 2. We've got on this side our volume. And then down here, we've got, actually I don't know what that switch does, maybe it's the tone switch. And we've got an aerial input there, an earth. Aerial and earth. Then we've got, oh, that's an antenna there. Not sure what those are. Maybe they're power. Oh no, they're power in. That's right. Got another radio with that connector on it. It's for power. And then we've got the speaker or earphone down the bottom. On the back, it's got the speaker earphone symbol there, and then up there we've got the volume symbol. There's the label. Yeah. So let's have a look inside. Now this is interesting. It's got a metal clip there, which they dropped a bit later on. I guess they were more confident with their plastic. Yeah, so that's as part of the battery holder. So it holds the batteries in place, and it needs that, I can tell you, because these batteries pop out. I've had the back off it this morning. I had a quick look at it to make sure I could do it today. Where's my opener thing? It's down here. Oh. There we go. In here. Yeah. So this is inside. That's just plasticine or oh no, it's just plasticine or something. Yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah, it's got a battery in it. Still from this morning. I'll have to put those up off the floor. They all came out as I was putting, not as I was putting it back together, but yeah. So we need to change this one. This is 100. There's another one down here, and it's 6 volt. That's the 30. So there's a couple of 30s in here. This is a metric system values. So that's a 30. That's probably a 5. That's a 5 and 30 and a 30. And this one is the 3, I think. There's the... Yeah, that's the 3. So we can't change this one today because I don't have any 2.2s, do I? I've run out of those. So I'll just put the batteries in and I'll demonstrate it. Okay. I'll just have to do something very quickly. Go back to here. Have a look, see how many viewers I've got at the moment. Okay, that's not too bad. So I'll put this in. And it's really hard to get D cells now. When that's a Coles, sorry, that's a Coles one, and I don't know that they sell the D's anymore. These I have to get in. What's that store? The anyway, that cheap leftover store. It's everywhere. And they weren't cheap in there either. So this is quite a heavy radio when all the batteries are in it.
Teddy Rocks, then we had X and D's back there with Donny. Last second to last, and then we across the line. Was a 210, 120 over 9.
Yeah, that's a tone switch.
Race number 2. Yeah, Mercedes, the second event here. We've only got 3 to run. Smallest field of the night. Number 3, Thin Fern, 105 to 107. Number 6, St. Barry, 850. Got in the $7. Just gets back to 8. A little specking for the second favourite. And 5, Fantastic Maxine, 14's out to 18. I've gone 3, 5, 6. There's not going to be a great deal of big dividends here unless the favourite gets...
Yeah, gets quite ear piercing. What else can I say about it? Yes, that's right. On Radio Museum, it had a little bit out of Mingay's price guide, which was an annual. I think it was annual price guide of all the radios, models, and things like that, and. These were almost £50 in 1961 or 62. So that's a lot of money. Okay, I'll take these out before I drop them on my foot. And you actually see this germanium transistor here and how big it is. It's quite large. And they're the three aerial cores, one for each shortwave band and one for AM, and then the oscillator coil over here. So that's quite nice. So we'll do the front end first. So that's 100 at 6 volts. Now the tricky bit with this will be getting to the screws, which are underneath here. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see that or not. This is the smaller speaker and this is the larger one. Not sure why they did that and why they just didn't put 2 large ones in, or yeah, maybe the speaker infringes on the tuning coil or something. But we'll have a look once we get this board out. Now these are quite small screws. So I better get a container for them. This will do. Ooh, this doesn't. That screw didn't felt like it hasn't come out ever. Yeah, these are really tiny. Where's my tweezers? These will do. Yeah, that Yeah, so that's really tiny, isn't it? Can't quite see that. Oh yeah. Yeah, really tiny screw. Actually, it's pretty good, this. They did make these for repair, because they were so expensive. Yeah. Before he lost one of the washers. Where did that go? Must have been when I lifted it up to the camera. Anyway. So, be very careful with this. It's not in great condition, but I don't want to wreck it if possible. Yeah, it's not going to come up any further. And what's holding this? Stopping it. Actually, I better turn the soldering iron down while I think about it. This is not good. There's a real spaghetti of wires under there. Don't know whether you can see that down in there. Probably not. No. Underneath the board there's about 20 wires attached to it. I don't know why it's not coming up. I was hoping this would hinge up. There's no reason why it shouldn't. There we go. If I move this around very carefully. Yeah, that's not under any pressure. Right. Now the $64 question is, can I get my soldering iron down to those two things? And that is glued solid. Sorry. Really don't want to damage the germanium transistors. Right, that should, yeah, that's loose enough. Let's just hope the other board isn't quite so tangled up. Yeah, how am I going to do this? Move it almost vertically, but got to get it down through in there. Yeah. Okay. Now, the negative goes towards the aerial. Yep. And I'll just check I've got 100 microfarad caps available. 47. Went up at the 100s. There we go. What's this one? That's a 47. So that doesn't go in there. Oh yeah. There's the 47s. What? Is this the 100s? I think these are the 100s. No, they're 10. Should have sorted all these out. Shouldn't I? Yeah, I just did moved everything for that Astor Mickey. Well, that were the other ones. Yeah, 220. None of these are in their correct containers. I did have 100s, I know I did. That's 33. What have you done, Andrew? So they're 47. And they're 47. So they're right. Now I thought it was... Oh dear. What have I done with them? So there's the high value resistors. Ah, right in front of my nose. 10. And why? They're 47s. What have I done with the 100s? These ones are secret. Are these the 100s? Can't be, they're too small. Ten at 6.3. At 6.3, so yeah, and then 10, 16. Oh dear. So they're okay. And yeah, I left these out because I was going to do this radio. That's 220. I'll take those out of there. Now there. So that is the 100 at 6.3. And I'm looking for, and then 100 at 25, 10 at 25. So that's 1 at 50. 220, 100 at 10. 10. So where's that bag of capacitors gone? I know they're in a bag. I haven't put anything away. There's the transistors down there. Sort of cleaned this bench up to do the Astor Mickey, and oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Remember, they were in a bag. They were the good ones. Oh dear, oh dear. 100k, no. What have I done with them? Oh dear, oh dear. Graham does this on his live streams too. He puts things down and can't find them again. So that is redundant. Let's check in the bin. No. What did I do with them? Oh. Card. 100 at 6.3. Okay. No, they're 10 at 16. What the devil? What are these? Yeah, 10 at 16. Enough 10s to keep me going for a while. 100 at 6.3. And 100 at 6.3. Okay, they'll have to do. I was going to put 100 at 16 volts in, but that doesn't really matter. As long as they're equal to or greater than the voltage, we'll be right. Really don't know what I've done with those. Now they're only 10s. Don't tell me I've been putting 10s instead of 100s in the Sony. It's the sort of stupid thing I do. Okay. Right. Now. Yep. So, we'll try and get this out. So I'll prop this up with this. Might be able to see under that. Yeah, just. Okay. Okay. I might desolder that wire there that is going to get burnt otherwise. Ooh, 60-year-old solder, I can smell it. Okay. That's one side out. And I haven't lifted the track. These boards are so delicate. Just got to heat them up and then it's down there. Okay, that's out. Right. Now, let's see what the value on it is. So it's an early Panasonic. Oh, all thumbs today. It's because I've been inside all day. I haven't gone for my walk. Yeah, it was stormy all this morning, and this afternoon it's been what the British call sunshine and showers. So 1 minute it's bright sunshine, and then the next it's bucketing down with rain. Okay. Actually, it's not too bad. It's 124. These are 4.7. 0.47, I should say. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that one was hanging on. Now, right, I'll clean all that muck off of it, which it looks like wax rather than glue. Yeah, it's wax. Yeah. This has been the most, the best screwdriver I've ever had. I've had it for about, used to work on my push bike when I was a teenager with it. And yeah, the metal on it hasn't rusted, and the handle's still good, and it's made in the good old USA. When they made proper things. And we made proper things too. Still got some seed chrome stuff from that time as well. And I found, remember when I was walking up this, from the station with my then girlfriend, and I was about 16 or 17, I think. And I found a couple of tools, and I've still got them. Now, I don't know whether I should put the proper audio caps in. I'll put the slightly cheaper ones. These are made in Japan, these caps. and this anti-static bag is being so full of static I can't open it. There we go. I'm going to get my finger down. Yep. In fact, it hasn't even been opened. There's the other bag. That one hasn't been opened. And this one hasn't been opened. I bought about 50 of these, so. Where's my scissors? Yeah, there was only 5 in the bag, and I ended up with 10 bags of these. I remember that. Okay. Yeah, so I've continued the recapping of the Sony CF-550A, and it does sound a lot better now, and it is a bit more stable, but the selectivity on the radio is not good. Tune out of one station and you get another. So that'll have to be looked at. There's the hole. It's there. And there. Now I've got to get the why is that not going? Okay. That's easy fixed. Down there. Yeah, the front of this isn't great. Yeah, okay, where's my fine solder? Spin up. Right. Good. And assume that wire went on there. And that track is beginning to lift. And there's a wire attached to it. No. No. It's better. Okay. So I think I've got that. Now I'll just trim the things off, legs off. You really need to be ambidextrous to do this. Yeah, that'll do. This one's going to be harder. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Not perfect, but you're not going to ever see that. Good. Right, we'll take that bit of solder out of there and we'll put some batteries in and we'll see if it still works. In fact, we'll have to put this down, won't we? Good, okay. So that should be okay. Now I know you're not supposed to mix batteries up, but it's only for a few seconds at a time. Yeah, got some noise out of it. That's going to be very, very annoying. So I'll rig up I'll turn the power supply on. How come the Coles branded ones are heavier than the Evereadys? Probably got more power in them. Okay. And here I was thinking this will be a very quick and easy one to do. So it's just a few capacitors. Move that over there for a moment. Don't know whether this has been repaired at some stage because there's a big metal plate there. Although, I guess, but that one's plastic at that end, so I don't. Yeah, good question. Yeah, it's on 6 volts, so I have to adjust that. VSET 4.4. 0.5, yeah, that'll do. You can hear it. Now that doesn't sound quite right, does it? I'll just turn the lights off. Yeah, what's popped off then? Oh, okay. Well, it still has its sensitivity. All right. But that's full volume. Yeah, it's drawing 0.03 of a watt. Okay. Right, so we'll put the screws back in it. Now, yeah, it's perfectly clear outside. Not a cloud in the sky. Yeah. This window's facing east. Okay. I think it's going to be about 2 or something tonight, and then only 10 tomorrow. So it's back to winter. When I checked the temperature before, it was 18, so it's quite warm outside, but it's not all that warm in this room because it doesn't get the afternoon sun. Now, put that in down there. We'll put our screw in. Geez, these are tiny screws. But the Japanese women had tiny fingers, I guess. And they were quite good with their fingers in doing electronics. So that's one screw in, and yeah, the other one has a washer still. These are tiny screws, not the smallest. Oh, that fell on the magnet. Not the smallest screws I've come across, but they're really fiddly. Okay, that was surprisingly easy. I'll try it again because I don't know whether something needed to be earthed there or anything. That's got to be, yep, and bend this resistor up away from the tuning gang. Yeah, okay. No. Oh, I've just noticed a couple more electrolytics underneath the main board. Okay, I'm going to try it on batteries. So it's definitely much louder than that before. And that should have improved at no end. Stay in there.
Straight across the lid ultra moment. Rushing around the master man. There's a tiny step here. Followed then by Just Franklin, zipping border and spin around blue the tail ender. Tiny stepping got around sheet and tens and head and off. The sheet and tens works up again. Behind the master man, then zipping Mortimer runs on. Sheet and tens got through. Kicked away again.
It's a bit better. Okay. Haven't got that nasty distortion on it. Right. Now, we've got one. What is that? Yeah. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3 screws. Okay. Little tiny ones again. And they've all got washers on them. Okay. So here we go. Now, actually, I don't think this is going to come up because there's wires at both ends. I've come across this problem before with Panasonic radios. Yeah. Yeah, it's for those, yeah. So it's been, I don't know what they've done here. Yeah, so there's been a damage there, and the top of the bright part is damaged too, so I don't think I'll be able to do anything with that. Now this is stuck in. Yeah. Looks like we have to unsolder these wires down here. And then we might be able to lift it up. So okay, it's going to be difficult. Knew this wouldn't be straightforward. Right, the blue wire there. Okay, so I've got the black wire. Right, phone and photo. We've got two black wires. Where does this one go? And that goes through. What's that white wire doing? So that goes from the aerial. And okay. So we've got a white wire, two black wires there. So a black wire. Yeah. Really need to do something with these cameras, don't I? For live streaming, so this isn't very satisfactory. That's better. Okay, so we've got a black, a yellow, a black, and a white. So remember that. Yeah, I've got a clearer picture now. This is going to be next to impossible. They must have put all this together first and then put the aerial in. So black, yellow, don't melt, yeah, and this plastic sheathing melts like no one's business. Come off. Come on. Just the plastic is melting. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, it's just melting rather than coming off. Move the other. Yeah. I haven't worked on a Panasonic of this age for a while. And I know why too. Now, come on, come on, yep. Melting everything in sight except for the solder. That's it. Good. Now maybe we can lift this up. No. What's holding it in place? What's that? Oh, okay. There's wires underneath there. And how the hell are you supposed to get to those? Oh, I don't know. This is proving a lot more troublesome than I thought. That camera's moved again, has it? Yeah. Okay. Take this out at least. Because there's no disassembly instructions for these radios this age, unlike the Sonys where there's beautiful circuit diagrams and detailed how-tos and everything like that. Right. Well, I can see a screw there, and there's another one there, one in there. So, yeah, there's got to be one up. Yeah, there's one up here as well. So there's one there, one down in here, and one up in here. So we'll take these out. And what did I say down here? And hopefully that part of the chassis will lift up. You can feel that moving. Okay. Good. Right. Now, can we get underneath that board? Yeah, it looks like... Oh, no. Too much of the chassis there. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this part here, that's that end, isn't it? So this part here is blocking this. How the hell did they do this then? Excuse my French. That is really solid. I've got a... Oh, I see. We've got something, it's just an earth connection there with a capacitor, and it goes to this frame. Don't know whether you can see that or not, just down in there. So that goes up and this solders the board. But that is riveted to this main part of the chassis. So I'll have to take a photo of that. Right, now desolder that. These things are never as easy as they seem to be in the first place, do they? Come on, away you come. You know you want to. Oh, that's hot. No, 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 no. Okay. So that is bent right out the way. We'll see if that, yeah, that's a bit better, but it's still attached. We can't get to any of the caps. Where else is attached? Down there. No, that's a oh, here we go. Is this going to give us any access? Yes, a bit. Yeah. Okay. And you can see under there, we've got 3, 4, 5 more caps. So there's one down here, a little tiny one. That's probably a 3, 2 3s there. That's a 5. That's probably a 3 or a 5. Don't know what that one is. It's full of wax or covered in wax. And these 200 at 6 volts, and that one is a secret. It's so solidly in there. It's better. Yeah. So I'll have to decommission that bit. Be interesting to see what values these are, because the closest will be a 220, which is 10% over. Alright. You can really see the difference in the speaker size there, don't you? Oh, you can't. Yeah. So that's a smaller one. That's the 9 centimeter one. I guess they were thinking that America would sign on to what every other country in the world has done and go metric. Even North Korea is metric. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to just, I'll have to pull this off. This is going to be really difficult. Here, I'll melt. Yep, okay. Put that out. And nothing like a good bodge. So, yep. Okay. So we'll test this one. That's still hot. And did that go? Already forgotten what that was. So I went there. Can't have gone there. Is this? No? Oh, yeah. Okay, worry about that in a minute. Oh, I didn't take note of the polarity. I'm just curious as to whether this one actually needs replacing. And it will. I'll replace it because it's what, 65 years old or something, 60 years old. Not quite as old as me, but very close. Okay, so this is a 200 and it's reading 470. I'll reuse that in the other Sony radio. 470. Okay. Right. So that's just a 6.61 or 6. Now, what's this? 220 at 16. Yeah, this is the closest. Now the question will be, or two questions actually, which way around did it go, and polarity wise, and will it reach? In fact, I'll chop this out. I don't normally like putting the where it's taped in. When we chop off the tape part of it. Yeah. Where's... I've got the insulation. And definitely it's going to need insulation because it goes right across the top of the board. So it should be okay for that one. No. Oh yes, I've got my car working too. And it was just the connector. So after all of that fussing around and everything like that, I think I said last week that I went down to the, I was going down to the week before, wasn't it? Time's flying very fast for me. So it's, yeah, went down and got the stuff off of Rect One and soldered it in over a couple of days and then put I'm just thinking at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, put it in and semi-sealed it all up. Put the battery in, turn the ignition, and bang, it just worked. So I'll see what they say tomorrow about my heart because I'm getting extremely tired at the moment. Now I should try and put this underneath the wires. Oh geez, there's a real bodge. One of those capacitors, those little small ones. Yeah, they can stay there. So we'll just put that in. Yeah, and if I get the all clear, or it's going to take, I'll go on a waiting list for months and months. Yeah, I might register the car again. Now that isn't going to go under there. I have to go on top like it was, unfortunately. So positive. See if we can see another positive. 20. No, that's not connected to anything, is it? Okay. So right, that end is on. And it's not such a big problem with this being somewhere. It shouldn't. Yeah, over the top of the wires, unfortunately. Would have liked to put it underneath, then the wires would be a bit more free. Okay. Looks like these other caps connected to this one. So this may well be the wrong way round. Now I should have tested this, shouldn't I, before I took this cap out and seen if the radio worked with it disassembled like this. I'm sure it will, but there was this little green wire too, which plugs into the aerial socket or something. And it was not connected when I took the back off it this morning, so that might be the problem with the AM sensitivity. Now, how can I prop this up where it won't short out on anything? Good. Now I will have to put the power supply on, I think. Yeah, it doesn't need that earth. No, it's already on. Looks like I've got that the wrong way round. hear the amplifier. Okay, it's off. Now we'll put something across there. And I can get replacement transistors for this. If you're in the club, we do have a transistor bank, and a certain number of transistors are available. Not as many by any stretch of the imagination as with the valves, but Pete is building up a good supply with people donating things. That's better. No, I think I've got the wrong way around somehow. Is there anything else? Should be connected, or oh, hang on. No, I haven't connected the those wires, have I? Okay. Yeah, well, that seems to work. Good. Well, that's 2 down. Yeah, okay. So what I might do, 20 to 8. Okay. So these are definitely, so these are 30. And what's the closest to 30? 2.2? Yeah, 2.2, isn't it? Yeah, so they're both 30s, those two. Now, what about this one? This is going to be bloody difficult. Or maybe not. Okay, so they go off over to the volume control, those two. And this one, wish I could see this one. Now, I've got something to stand this up with. It's not going to work. Don't need that at the moment. Good. So I can, yeah, where's the writing's right underneath it, and it won't turn because that's a pretty solid connection. That went across to there. The camera's slowly moved again, hasn't it? Is that better? I wonder what's the other camera doing? Come on. That's better. Bring this over. Yeah. That might be a better view for you. So this is the capacitor I've just changed, and this is the one I'm looking at changing. There's nothing on the top or the side, it's all underneath. So I'm going to have to desolder that. And this is proving to be difficult. Come on. Or is it soldered right down here? Yeah. That's why. A huge amount of... And we've got a wire connected to that as well. Or is that just... Yeah, no, that's melted. Oh dear. Going to have to insulate that. Yeah. Okay. So this is the positive end. We've just disconnected, and it goes up, and wouldn't you know, it's right under all those wires. So this is a 100. Yeah. Oh God. This is just impossible. I guess they were learning. This is a very early transistor radio, really. And transistors have only been around for 5 years. Why is that crackling? I'm putting a hole in the speaker with this. That's why. And circuit boards were fairly new as well. Force that over there. Not quite. Oh. There's wires on top of wires, crossing other wires. It's really knotted. And the wire, this blue wire is wrapped around this lead on the capacitor. So it doesn't go directly, it sort of... Oh. Now, how am I going to do this without burning all the wires? So that is that one. That is over there. So stay there and I'll get you out. If I can grab you. That's not going to work. Okay, burnt wire time. Doesn't even have to touch it, it just melts this wire. Okay, we're out. Right, stay there. And I'll see how bad this one is. That one is 200. Come on, focus. Should be to focus there. Anyway, this is a 100. Oh no, sorry, 200. Yeah, there it is. So this is a 200 and it was reading 470. So we'll see what this 100 reads. $219. Wow, that is really bad, isn't it? That's 10%, and then right, such yeah, 10%, and then double the value. So that is doesn't got a voltage on it. 100 at. No, it doesn't have a voltage on it. Or is that, no, that's 6 volts. Huh. Yeah. Okay. So this is a 100, isn't it? It's 6 volts. Yeah. Move these wires a little bit to the other side of this. Move the whole lot. Yeah. And we're going down there too. And that is yeah, okay. So that should give us a bit more freedom. I don't have a radial cap of that size or value, so this will have to do. So this is 6.3 volts, and yeah, so you can see the difference in size. Yeah, so it's about a quarter of the size. Now, did I bring in my sheet shrink from the garage? This will do. Yeah. Got anything up there? No. Now, which way? It's going to go across to there, and that is there. So we'll do this. That is going too short on that. I can't do much about that. So really pull that up there. Yeah, this is almost as hard as working on a SMD set. Like this. I'll have to put a bit of cap on tape down there underneath this. And I don't know where the cap on tape is. Yeah. Unless I lie that on the side. No. Yeah. You want to leave that. I'm going to put a very small piece of insulation on that. Might do it if I so that needs to be a bit shorter. Difference. Good. Now leave that on there, so when it comes to putting this back, I can maybe thread that through there or something. So it does have a hole in it. So just there's a bodge wire across there too. Yeah, not great, but I'll have to do, I'll lift this wire up here so it doesn't touch that one, so I'll get some cap on tape underneath it. It's not touching though. Right, Okay. Good. Right. Okay. Well, it's 7:57. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave this because, as I say, I'm getting really, really tired. And I've got to go to the radiologist in the morning, and at what time is it? I've got to be there 8:15 or something like that. So it's I've got to have the radioactive dye injected into me and everything like that. And then they're going to do, I think they're doing stress tests as well, because as I said at the beginning of this, I've got two ventricles with valves that are both ventricles have a valve which is only 2 flaps on it instead of the usual 3. So the 2 flap people, the heart works much harder, and the flaps wear out a lot quicker. And I had it checked 5 years ago, and there was backflow. So yeah, it looks like I'm due for the open heart surgery and to have the valves replaced, which is what I'm not looking forward to. They said that 5 years ago, 5 to 10 years. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If you want to, there's a Patreon page. There's also a Buy Me a Coffee page. The links are in the description. Which should be, they are. And yeah, so if you haven't subscribed and you want to, please subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here, and I'll speak to you hopefully next week if everything goes well. And it's going to be, if I do have it done, I'm going to have to go on a waiting list, and then it takes a very long time to recover apparently. So yeah, okay, I'll speak to you hopefully next week. Okay, bye for now. I'll just wander over to the computer and get it turned off. I'll show you where the computer is. It's behind me, and yeah, so it's over there. Yeah, so okay,